Hey guys, welcome to another video. If we haven't met before, my name is Trung. On this channel, we are here to help you be the boss of your business and your life. If you're looking to start a business and you have no idea where to start, or if you actually already have a business and it's taken over your life, we're here to help you develop the freedom, the flexibility, and the fulfillment of running a business that satisfies the goals that you want in your life, so that you actually have more impact, but also ultimately make more money. On today's video, we're going to be helping you decide what business to start in 2022. I know you guys are probably inundated with different ideas of what business to start. You're passionate about multiple different things, just like I am, and so you can't decide actually which one makes sense to start. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to break down 3 different types of businesses that you can do, and the pros and the cons of each of those businesses. And I'm going to interject some of my own experiences and tell you the pros and the cons of the businesses that I have run and what makes sense for you. By the end of the video, you're going to think about 4 things that you need to consider when you are actually deciding exactly what business to start. Okay, so without further ado, let's jump right into it. Okay, the first business that we talk about is a service-based business. What does that mean? Service-based business is that you are performing a service for somebody else. Whether that's in person or virtual, that is a service that you are doing for somebody else. What does that look like? That can be mowing a yard. That's a service. You could be cutting hair. That's in person. That's a service. You could be doing it virtually. So you can do online content creation. You can create videos for people. You can video edit. You can do Photoshop. You can create logos for people. You can do any number of things on the computer. A lot of people need virtual assistants that can help them with their business. So it could be a social media manager to doing odds and ends things, organizing their life and things like that. So you can use your expertise in whatever it is that you do to be able to turn that into a business of some kind. The pros of this type of business, you can actually do this from anywhere, which is absolutely amazing, right? So if you want to be location independent, doing a service type of business actually really makes a lot of sense, because A, it doesn't cost very much to do because you are selling your expertise, you're selling your services of doing something. So if you're an accountant during the day and you want to do bookkeeping for people on the side because you have the expertise, that's a great way to make some side money and do it at any time you want to do it. So you can do it after you do your regular day job, when you get home at night, spend time with your kids, and then you can actually run your business. People do this all the time. I did that for more than 15 years when I was a full-time engineer. I did a service-based business. I was a wedding photographer. I was providing a service to somebody. I was shooting their weddings and giving them high-res images as the end product. I also sold albums and things like that as well, but the main part of the service was me attending a wedding using my photography skills to provide a service for somebody. So the beautiful thing about it is that I can decide who I want to work with and who I don't want to work with. And when you are doing a service-based business that is virtual versus what I did in person, you can actually do it and you're from anywhere in the world, which is absolutely amazing, but you can also service anybody in the world. So you can have clients all over the world. This is a service type of business. The cons of this business is that you have to go find people that are willing to trust you to do their work for you. This may not be that difficult, but it can be difficult if you're first starting out and you don't really know anybody and nobody knows your expertise. Those are the cons of the business, but as you can see, the pros way outweigh the cons of a service type of business. Another con of this business is actually that you're trading time for money. So like if you're not doing that service, your business isn't making money. That's one downside, but that doesn't necessarily mean to be the ultimate downside, because most of the people that do a service-based business can eventually scale it because they hire more people to perform the same service they do. So that is scalable, but when you first start out, you are still trading time for money. That's not necessarily the worst thing in the world, but you have to realize that you can only work so much until you're able to scale yourself, or you hire somebody else to do some of the work for you. The second type of business that you can do is a product-based business. What does that mean? It means that you're selling a product of some kind to a consumer. right? So it could be a product that you manufacture yourself, like an artsy piece, a wallet, or you do paintings or whatever it is, right? So there's many ways you can set up your business. Some ways is you actually create the product yourself and then you actually mail it out, right? So if you create artistic items or creative things that you use it as an outlet to express your creativity or create something super novel in the marketplace, you can fabricate it or get it fabricated and then you ship it out yourself. There's multiple business models that you can do within product-based business. So for me, I actually have a brick and mortar Smoothie King store. That is a product-based business. I am selling smoothies. So I am selling a physical product, but they have to come in person to do it. You can sell physical products online, right? So you can actually sell through eBay. You can do Amazon FBA or fulfilled by Amazon, where you actually order things from China or wherever you get your products, have it stored at their warehouse, and then they actually fulfill the order after somebody places an order on Amazon. So that can actually alleviate you from actually ever inventorying the product and then having to mail it out and fulfill the orders, which can be really, really nice. Another way you can run a product-based business is drop shipping. So basically your vendor or your manufacturer actually holds on to the products, and when somebody places an order, you place the order with the vendor, and then you make the money when you actually send the order out to the other person, and the company actually fulfills the order on your behalf. So you actually are not on the hook to ship anything yourself, which is absolutely awesome. So that will actually allow you to be located anywhere in the world, because your customers can be anywhere in the world and your company actually ships to anywhere in the world, which is an amazing business model. So the beautiful thing about the pros of actually running a product-based business is that if you are creative, you can have a creative outlet to create something the marketplace has never seen before. Another beautiful thing about having a product-based business is that you can actually brand it and actually create a brand for your products that potentially could live beyond you and something you can hand down as a product-based business. Another beautiful thing about a product-based business is that you can actually scale it up if you have a way that your supply chain can actually create a lot more than what you can fabricate yourself. So if you order on Amazon and you can actually inventory a whole lot more things than you can ever inventory in your home. So that's truly scalable, right? And so if you do like a drop shipping or Amazon FBA, those are kind of models that actually can really scale. Those are the pros of having a product-based business. The cons, depending on what you decide to do. If you fabricate it yourself, the cons is you actually have to spend time to actually make the products. And so sometimes that can be very time consuming depending on how artistic or unique these products are. Another thing could be a con is that some of it, like Amazon FBA, you actually have to front the capital to actually purchase the inventory products in order for you to be able to stock it in their warehouse. And if they don't sell the products, very much of it, then you are on the hook for storage. Obviously, if it doesn't sell, then you're on the hook for having paid for all the products, and it's just sitting in a warehouse costing you money every month for having them inventory a product that isn't moving. So those are the cons of the side of the business. Another con is that unless you're fabricating a totally unique product, these items can very easily be copied and counterfeited and things like that. So my sister actually has an Amazon FBA business. She had a pretty unique product, but it was sourced from China. And of course, people can source just about anything from China. So once people see what you've created on Amazon, they can come out and actually create almost the exact same thing, if not the exact same thing, with just a different logo on it, because they can figure out very easily where you source your products from. And then they can tell the manufacturer to make that exact same product, put a different label on it, and sell it right on Amazon, just like they sell your products. So that's the problem with having products that are sourced from a third-party country like China, Taiwan, Vietnam, things like that. Other people have access to those manufacturing supply chain people as well. And those are the downsides of actually having a product that somebody else fabricates. Whereas if you make it yourself, then obviously it's much, much harder for somebody to duplicate. So those are the cons of actually having a product-based business. I'm so glad that you're still watching this video. If you guys have enjoyed it so far, feel like you got some value out of it, please give me a thumbs up and helps us get exposed to a lot more people. If you want to subscribe to the channel, click on the button below so that you are notified the next time that we drop a video, and so that you guys could help grow your business in a way that actually helps you get more freedom, flexibility, and fulfillment in your business. Okay, on to the third type of business. It's an information type of business. What does that mean? So your business is producing content that comes from you, that is your expertise. Okay, so what does that actually mean? So if you are an expert in how to grow a business, you can create a PDF, an ebook, a online course. The online course could be a bunch of PDFs, some Word documents, or maybe a video course combined with some PDF documents that you produce one time, and then you actually sell that information to whoever wants to buy it. So this could come in several forms. You can create a PDF as an ebook or just a PDF document that you can sell to somebody. So you create the PDF book one time, and then you can sell as many copies as you can sell. And so it doesn't cost you any more money. You will spend time up front to create this document or this video training course, but it can be sold infinite number of times without costing you any extra money. This is the beautiful thing about a digital or an online information type of course. It is your expertise that you're selling, which is going to be unique to you. And so other people won't necessarily be teaching the same information the same way you do. So the pros of this business is that it's very scalable. Whereas if I'm selling smoothies in a store just like I have, I can only sell so many smoothies. There's only so many people that can come through the door, and there's only so much capacity that I can do without necessarily having to grow my team larger or make a bigger store. So the capital cost of scaling is a lot more expensive. Whereas if you're selling an information product, it could be an online course or things like that. It doesn't matter how many people sign up for that course, because it's run by a third-party hosting site like Kajabi or Thinkific. Then I don't need to actually deal with them day in, day out, unless I support them in a different way. But for the most part, it's infinitely scalable. So if 100 people buy them or 1,000 people buy them, it doesn't affect the system, because they are able to go online, log in anytime they want. They buy the course anytime because it's online portal, and they can process their credit card and then start the course, finish it, start again anytime they want. It's not me trading time for money. So those are the beautiful things about an online course or an information type of business. Another pro is that it's actually relatively inexpensive to start. So if you want to create a PDF, all you need is a computer or even your phone to create a PDF. So it doesn't require a lot of machinery or equipment to actually start your business. If it's an information product, you can record videos just like I am doing here and create a digital course online from videos shot from your iPhone. Many people do this when they start their YouTube channel or their digital online course, and they're able to shoot it on their iPhone that they have in their pocket every single day. So it doesn't cost a lot of money to start. The beautiful thing about that is that you can start anytime and you can do it, whenever you want. And it might take you a month, it might take you a couple weeks to create a course, but once you do it one time, it's done. And that's the beautiful thing about it. So what are the cons of this type of business? The cons are sometimes you might create a course and realize nobody wants to buy it. And so you might invest a month or two of your time potentially to create something that maybe nobody really wanted. And so that could be a huge waste of time on your end, which could be a learning experience, but that is a con of this type of business. Another thing is, how do you differentiate yourself and get people to know, like, and trust you before they will buy your product? And that's the key to running this type of business. And that's the hardest part about this type of business, is that somebody's got to trust you enough to want to buy your information, your product, right? And the thing is, since the barrier to entry is relatively low on an information type of business where anybody can go out and create a video course or a PDF or an ebook, things like that, it can be very competitive. So the key is, how do you stand out in the marketplace if this business is quite crowded because the barrier entry is so low? Okay, so now that you've actually listened to the 3 types of businesses that you can create, here are the 4 things that you really need to consider when you actually finally decide what type of business you want to go after. So the first thing is, what do you enjoy doing? A lot of people don't necessarily want to interact with people day in, day out. Maybe they like to sit behind a computer more. So those are the type of businesses where you can say, do bookkeeping or create content for somebody, and you don't actually have to interact with somebody. Whereas if you do a service type of business or like an information type of business, you might actually have to put your face on social media a lot more to get your name out there and be in front of people a lot more. And if that's not your cup of tea, if you don't like doing that, then you need to decide what type of business really makes sense. If you want to do like be in the background more, maybe you sell a product like a drop shipping type of business, so you're not necessarily in front of the camera or having to interact with people to sell your product. Okay, the next thing is, how much time are you willing to commit to this business? Some businesses are a lot more time intensive, and depending on how much of your commitment outside your work already is taken up of your day, right? So if you have a full family that you need to take care of right after you come home from work and you only have an hour a day, what type of business can you run with a minimal amount of time? And here's the deal, you have to commit a little bit of time every single day. So for it to provide any momentum, so you have to decide how much time are you willing to commit to this business, okay? That's gonna play a big part in what type of business you actually can run. The third thing is, how much money are you willing to commit to this business? Like I said, there are some type of businesses that are quite capital intensive. If you want to buy items from Amazon or items from China to ship to Amazon to run that business, you actually have to plunk down quite a bit of money. You might need to start out with $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000 to buy enough inventory and then do some marketing for that business. If you do a drop shipping type of business, you may not need as much capital. If you do a product-based business and you own a restaurant like I have, the build-out cost of something like that is $250,000. Of course, that is a huge negative, right? So a lot of people don't have that kind of capital to start. So depending on the type of business you want to start, you have to decide how much money you're able and willing to invest in this business, because that's a huge barrier for a lot of people. If you require a bunch of equipment or a lot of money to start, that may not make sense for you. Or fourth consideration that you need to make when you're doing this type of business is that, do you know anybody that's doing it? And what I mean by that is, are you able to talk to somebody about what it is like to be that type of business owner? Because here's the deal, guys. When you think of a business, you have this preconceived notion of what you think the business is going to be doing, what you do as a business owner of that type of business every single day. But the reality versus what people paint it to be are not always the same thing. As a wedding photographer, you think that I'm actually spending all this time just shooting weddings and just enjoying times on the weekend shooting weddings all the time. Not really. That's a small snippet. That's one day a week. That's for 30 times a year. But the rest of the time, it's spent on the computer editing, creating album designs, Photoshop work, creating album designs on all the different types of programs, social media, doing consultations, things like that. So what you actually do day in, day out may not be as glamorous as you think, or may not be something that you maybe really don't enjoy. So you really have to go talk to somebody and actually talk to them about what they do day in, day out in that business, because that will really dictate whether that's something you really want to do. Because what you do in the business is 20% of what you truly do in that business. The other 80% is the actual business of running that business, which is accounting, marketing, HR stuff, and all these other things that are super mundane, but you have to do it to run the business. And that's what people don't see. So that's the fourth tip, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope you got a lot of value out of it. If you have, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. And until next time, I want you guys to make sure that you become the boss of your business and your life. Thank you so much.